Yes, yes, yes. Oh, someone just texted me. Yes, the gang. Yes, everyone who's in. Have a look. Comments. I forgot. Ellis is always here. Regular. And who's D Tootle? D Tootle, shout out. I don't know who that is. These are in the chat already. Big up, everyone. Episode 39. We've got a lot to chat to, and I'm not stoned. No more weed until Las Vegas. Well, I suppose Las Vegas, Los Angeles. Los Angeles first. The next time I have a big fucking joint will be in Los Angeles. Stoned out my head going up the Hollywood sign. Until then, we're fucking off it because it was affecting my diet. Down to 15.2 on the official weigh-in, although I did weigh myself this morning in a non-official weigh-in and I was 15.1. But if anyone's seen what happened yesterday, you'll fucking realise. You know what? Is it still on my finger? No, the last finger's night from hell. How bad was that yesterday, by the way? 4 o'clock. So obviously, I was thinking, shall I go at 7? Because I come home from that meal, and I just was literally burning time, killing time, with like thinking, what can I do? Started hoovering and mopping the house, hoovered upstairs, which is a fucking waste of time. I don't blame him, and I haven't shouted at him, but Pedro decided to shit in JJ's room maybe 6 times. Do you know what? It's still outside, and is it going to rain? Let me check the weather. I've still got his mat outside. I had to wash his mat now. It's not going to rain. I had to wash his mat because it was piss soaked. But from like 4 o'clock, maybe 5. 4 o'clock, I got on the couch, and 5 o'clock, I went in bed. And from 5 till about 7, I literally was just in bed holding my stomach. And then from 8 o'clock, spewing, shitting everywhere. I know people don't really want to hear this. And then until about 5 in the morning, I was up every half hour through the night. Like just walking to the toilet, fucking shitting everywhere. And then today I felt all right. I even did a little run today, this like earlier on. I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. We're all fans. I'm a fan of you. Fuck off, you. Look, I've changed my thing because what is going on at the minute? Why is it? I was supposed to go to this later, but why is it like a discourse now that the Chiesa song's bad? I don't get it. Fuck off, you. No one's saying anything about Heisel. And even if we was saying something about Heisel, like can't get into that because obviously it's a tragedy thing, but we don't sing enough negative songs about fucking... Yes, Kira! We don't sing enough negative songs about Juventus. Fuck Juventus. The fucking horrible, dirty Italian bastards. We don't sing enough nasty things about them. They're not nice. They're not nice. The fans are not nice. And the club ain't nice. Proven when they got fucking demoted to whatever league because they were fucking scummy, corrupt cunts. So fuck off you there. And you get people like Tony Evans. Who's listening? Why is people giving Tony Evans attention? He's a fucking pisshead. How's the pooch? How's the pooch? He's okay. He's getting heavy, you know. When I pick him up now, I can feel it. Hello. Here's the pooch. He's a licker. Hello. He's fine. Bring back hate chants. No, don't bring back. We don't want no hate chants for the sake of it, but hate chants towards fucking Juventus, which isn't even really a hate chant. Us and Juventus don't get on. We don't like each other. Exactly. Us and Juventus don't like each other, so why can't we say fuck off Juventus in a song? Chiesa himself likes the song. He knows the lyrics. I'm going to put you down now, though, man. He knows the lyrics. He knows what's been said, and he endorses the song. So why, if he endorses it, are we giving fucking oxygen to a pisshead like Tony Evans, who for years has just gone and says things on Twitter just for attention? He's been kicked out of every fucking decent media job he's ever had in his life. He's one of the old boys. Or so you get people. Who was the other one? Someone sent me the thing before. Who's the other one stuck up for him at the Athletic? Why can't I say Athletic? At the Athletic. Fuck Juventus and fuck Tony Evans. He's a pooch on Miles. He's a toy poodle and a Bijan freeze. He's the same as what Bobby was, but obviously Bobby's no longer with us. But yeah. Fuck Tony Evans and carry on singing it. By the way, we were supposed to go to the Chiesa song a bit later. I've watched that about 100 times, as I'm guessing any other Liverpool fan has. It's going... I half wish Salah... I'm glad Salah scored because he did the Jota celebration. Obviously, Salah scores on the opening day and you want to win 4-2 over 3-2. But Chiesa seems to have lost a lot of his plaudits. That was a full volley, by the way, through 3 players, including the keeper and one of his own... No, 4 players. The keeper, 2 defenders, and his own man. Was it Van Dijk? So why is it's going a bit unnoticed how good a goal? A full volley. He did get a lot of hate on Twitter. Tony Evans did it. All right, yeah, but everyone hates everyone on Twitter. I just hope we don't end up fucking not singing it. Like it doesn't get to a point where Liverpool put out a statement saying, the fucking Chiesa song is I noticed on Inside Anfield though they they play the sort. They show the fans singing it, but they've definitely muffled the sound so that you can't tell what's being sung properly. Because usually, if it's a song like Van Dyke, they play it so it's clear. But on that one, it shows the fall. And I've been told by a few of my mates, what a fall for the third goal. Unbelievable. Can you believe as well, you sell cars pasties? I know, see, when I got told about the cars pasties in Anfield, I was going to everyone like, we sell cars pasties in Anfield. And people are going, what is so special about cars pasties? When I moved to Birkenhead, I found out that they don't sell cars pasties everywhere. I thought cars pasties was nationwide. I thought everywhere in the UK had cars pasties. Turns out it was just Bolton. And it's not a small thing. One of the fucking grounds at the Reebok is called the Cars Pasty stand. Like, they're a big company if they can afford to fucking sponsor a stand at the Reebok. And it was called the Cars Pasty stand when they were in the Premier League. They're a massive company. And now they've somehow won the fucking... They don't sell cars pasties anywhere out of Bolton. And they've won the Anfield contract. And I can't get one because I'm fucking banned. Keith with the pasties. So, Keith. So, I always big up cars pasties, yeah. I always big up cars pasties. So, where was we going? Oh, we're going to the parade. And we was all at mine starving. And so we went to the shop to get a couple of cars pasties down the road. They're not the same. If you go to the actual cars pasties, they're top notch. But if you go to the shop, they're just all right, yeah. Said he missed it, the volley. It was such a good goal. Miles Carragher, he's right about Isak. We don't need Isak, and we shouldn't be spending that money on Isak. But he is a fucking hater sometimes. And what do you mean miss it, the volley? Well, if he'd have hit that, that's the sort of shot where if he'd have hit it sweetly, I don't know, Carragher talking about miss hits when he had fucking, what did he score? 2 goals in his career. If he hits that volley sweetly, it gets blocked. He has to slice it a little bit to get it where it goes. Unbelievable volley. And no one ever questions Chiesa's ability. I just think he's dog shit. But I like him and I want him to stay because I love his song. Bear in mind, instead he got it wrong. Oh, did he? Oh, Carragher did. All right, yeah. So Carragher did. All right, then. Anyway, it will be told. It will be told. So we go to the shop down the road and Key was like, what pasties do they have? And I said, they sell meat and potato, steak, cheese and jalapeno, cheese, 4 cheese, because a lot of people don't like onion, especially in Bolton. It's a weird thing, but Bolton's one of them places where they don't like any veg and they don't like seasoning. But yeah, so 4 cheese and rocket, it's called. Not rocket as in it's called rock it. Yes, Mike. Yes, Discoteco. Yes, Miles. Yes, everybody. It's called rocket and it's like a spicy beef pasty. So anyway, Kira goes, get me anything except meat and potato. That's what she says to Keith, a fella. Get me anything but meat and potato. Keith goes in the shop and comes out with 4 meat and potato cars pasties. And listen, I love fucking meat and potato cars pasties, but that Keith said anything but that. And she goes, you've got me meat and potato. And Keith said they didn't have anything else. Alex had gone in the shop with Keith. I know Alex, there's a fly on my camera. I know Alex will never get meat and potato by a choice. He likes steak. Yeah, the steak one. The steak cars pasty is unbelievable. Keith goes, they only had meat and potato. Alex walks in, it gets into the car about 2 seconds after Keith with 2 steak bakes, 2 steak pasties. It just sums it. I hate him. It sums him up. And Keith just blatantly lied. Why? I don't understand. I can understand the lie. I can understand lying just for a quiet life when you get in the car. Like, instead of like pretending that, instead of having to go through all the drama of you saying, why have you done that? But why didn't he just check? Do you reckon we'll get Gahey? I want him now because I've realised we can get him for cheap, but and they're trying to sell him to Chelsea. What'll be annoying is if Chelsea offer the full money they want, because we're going cheap. Yeah, but he would have liked the steak one more. The steak ones are unbelievable, and the meat and potatoes are good. Meat and potato is a solid second, but steak is well ahead. But anyway, Gahey. I didn't want him when they were talking 50 million because he's fucking 5'11", by the way, and you cannot have a 5'11" centre half unless you play 5 at the back. That's why I actually think he'd be better for Chelsea because they do play 5 at the back. So that's the annoying part. Oh, Pedro, he went for a long walk. It's a 4K walk I took him on today. He's just lying there dead. He don't even look up puppy, innit? But now I'm realising we're getting him for 35 to 40 million. Yeah, even if he was free, you'd end up paying him, and between him and his agent, you'd pay about 25 million. Yes, Supreme. You'd pay him about 25 million anyway between him and his agent. So I just say get him. And he looked good in the he looked good against Chelsea the other day, and he looked good in the Charity Shield. I say get him. I want him. And then we've got that other kid, Leone. I'm guessing I'm guessing they are looking for when. Oh, I thought someone had scored. I wanted the Rangers game in the background, but I can't find the Rangers game anywhere. I'm stunned he's 5'11". I know we were at me, Jed and Lou were talking about this, and Jed said he's 6'2", bigger than Gomez, and we was like, you're fucking out of your mind. He's a midget, 5'11". But I think if you play with 3 at the back, which worries me a little bit because he plays at 3 in the back and he's shining under this. That Leone is massive. I know. That's why I like him. But he's also fast, that Leone. But he plays as a 5 at the back under that Glasner for Palace and shines because it's 5 at the back. But I worry, is he big enough to play as a 2? But I feel like anybody can play next to Van Dijk. But then Van Dijk's on I don't think we're going to renew Van Dijk after 2 years. And I feel like we're already, and he's such a good player. And he was always amazing, Van Dijk, that even though he has lost a little step, not a massive step, but he's lost a little step, but he's still head and shoulders probably the best centre half in the league, whilst losing a step because that's how good he was. But I worry about that in 2 years. And obviously, it's obvious now Canate is not going to sign. And I know they said this on the overlap, and then Fingy said straight away, well, you said that about Salah and Van Dijk, but I can't see Canate signing. Rangers is on Prime. Oh, I didn't realise. I'm not going to change it now. I'm not listening to it anyway. I'm just hearing things. Is it still 0-0 with Rangers? Let's have a check. How much I ever think... Oh, someone's asking about kits. I don't think I can advertise that on here. It's not strictly perfect. Rangers are losing 2-0 already. 2-0 after fucking 7 minutes to Bruges. Just shows how shit the Scottish League is, isn't it? Rangers are on Prime. Fucking hell. 2-0 down at home. Good job away goals don't count. They'll be out the fucking tie. You know what I've been watching as well, right? So we'll get off Gahey. We can go back to Chiesa, whatever it is. That I was watching it the seconds before I came on here. That fucking, I'm guessing you've all seen it. And I keep, because we won, and this has happened a lot. This has happened a lot post-Coot, you know. And I'm not like a conspiracy guy, me, but post-Coot, we've got nothing off the officials, literally nothing. And that handball in the first half against fucking Bournemouth is a disgrace. For them to say that he'd come off him and just hit him in the arm. Are you fucking joking? How do I get it up? How can I get that up? He miscontrols it, right? Hang on, Liverpool. He miscontrols it, sees the ball bouncing away, realises Ekitike is running through. He's got no chance of catching him. And you see the panic in the guy's face while he moves his hand towards it. It's a fucking disgrace. Here it is. Watch this when it's close up. Obviously, you've all seen it, but watch the panic. Well, I'm not going to get done after playing. I won't put no volume on it. Watch when it shows the replay. How is anyone giving this? Look, like, what's the panic in his face when he realises? And he moves his hand to it like that. They definitely checked the first bit. Obviously, I'm not going to blame the ref, even though the ref should see it because it's fucking absolutely blatant. It's in it. Exactly. He says it's up there with the Diaz one. I said that today to Kieran Keith. It's one of the worst footballing decisions I've ever seen because comparing it to the one last night with Tarkowski. Yeah, Tarkowski, if it didn't get given, people wouldn't still be complaining about it now, saying it was a penalty, but because it's been given and like equally with it being given, people are still not going, oh, it was a robbery, it's not a penalty. Maybe a Fingy fans, but like Saliba going through no, nothing like that, mate. He literally miscontrols the ball. It flicks up, hits his hand. He shits himself thinking if Ekitike runs through here, I am not catching him from the halfway line and he's thrown goal. And he moves his hand and flicks it away. I think he probably accepts what he's doing, thinking, fuck it, we'll just go down to 10 men. We're going to lose anyway. Go down to 10 men, sit with all 10 players behind the ball for the full game. And so you can't really blame the ref because it happens fast. But how has VAR looked at that? And honestly, it blows my mind. It's a fucking disgrace. The player literally doesn't just move his arm to it, and does this movement with his hand, does that with his hand and slaps the ball away. Couldn't get involved because he couldn't confirm it was DOGSO. What's that? Denying of a goal scoring opportunity. What are you talking about, Miles? Of course he could. Surely, I thought they watched it though. Or being a joke, thought that was a pen for United yet. Which one's that? I don't think I've seen them. I watched the full United game as well. Well, I turned it on at the 12th minute, and then I turned it on as I sent a picture on the finger as Arsenal got the finger. Yes, Paddy. Yes, Lewis. And exactly, Lewis. That's what I was saying. Look at the guy's face. He knows what he's. Look at his face as it's happening as well. He miscontrols it. The ball goes away, and you see his face like panic and do it, and then. Yeah, it was a Stonewall Sleeper. I don't feel like I've seen a Sleeper one. I'm pretty sure it's my deal. It is the one against Liverpool, the handball. I know that. So the Diaz one is just getting is somehow getting the rule. Is getting the law of football wrong, and then VAR failing us. But this is someone's eyes watching what we watched and someone missing it. How are you missing that decision? He doesn't, like I'm saying, it's not like it hits him and then flicks up. He does that. He forcefully moves the ball into a completely different position. I can't, and then, so like I'm saying, watch his face as it's happening, the panic on his face when the ball's moving away from him. But also, like I think he's just said then, look at his face afterwards as well. Like he looks guilty. He looks guilty. That's what Tarkowski as well. That's why I think Tarkowski's was a penalty, because he looked guilty afterwards as well. And anyone who knows who's played football, when you go to block a ball, if he just does this, but he goes into it, like I think it was a penalty. I think the lead one was a penalty. I think Tarkowski did. I think it was a penalty. I really think it was. But the fucking one for us was an absolute joke. But talking about Ekitike, I fucking love him, you know. I can't believe it. And I thought he was going to be a bit of a, not like a dog, but I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is. He looks amazing. Who was it who said, someone messaged me and said he reminds him of Berbatov, and I was thinking, no, not really. But then since watching him a couple more times, I can see it. He's like a fast, athletic Berbatov. His touch is up 3-0. It's 3-0. So that's Rangers out the Champions League. Is this the last qualifying round as well? They're not turning that around. But Bruges are a decent team, aren't they? Bruges are okay. I'm guessing they won the Belgian league as well. I said Berbatov in the taxi. Oh, was it you who said? Yeah, but you said it, but someone messaged me before, and I disagreed with Berbatov. I know you said it in the taxi, but let me find it, because it was definitely on WhatsApp. Someone said Berbatov, and I was like, I'm not sure about Berbatov. Nah, maybe a text. Let's have a look. Berbatov. No. Twitter DMs. Not Twitter. Finger DMs. Berbatov. Hey, yeah. 100 times. I wrote Aaron really hard. Apologies. You know what? I'll apologise to him. Aaron, do you know what I said to you? Not sure about that. His first touch was hard to watch, but if he goes to a team that plays... Oh, that was about Nunes. But I didn't even argue with the Berbatov one, actually, to him. 10 times better than Berbatov. Anyway, I think he is like Berbatov, but he's amazing. Something. Are we talking about... What about the penalty? I've not seen it, Miles. I haven't seen it. And weirdly, I watched the full game from the first goal, so I don't know how I've not seen it, but I haven't... obviously, when you're watching United and Arsenal, because it's not Liverpool, I'll be fucking about my phone, so... But I have missed that, I don't know. Shall I try and find it? Will it be on the highlights? Weirdly, I watched the highlights today while I was running as well, so I don't understand how I've missed this. But Ekitike, I honestly don't want Isak. Don't sign him. First of all, nobody from that region of Africa will ever be a world-class player for a top team like Liverpool. You might be a big fish in a small pond at Newcastle, but you're not hitting the heights that we need at Liverpool. It ain't happening. So strap a rocket ship to Ekitike's back, say, you are our star striker. Don't sign a player for fucking near 100 million euros to play as a bit part striker. You're our main man, and go and sign a left or right winger, because I don't think we've got enough depth there. And so we've got to just add another forward to it. I know it's sad what happened to Jota, but add another forward, because I feel like now the forwards we've got with Jota would be fine going into a season. But we haven't got Jota. We've got to accept that. Go and find someone else. Go and buy someone else. Buy Chiesa, and that's it. That's fine. Do not buy Isak for 130, 140 million. Bear in mind, what is he, 27, 28? So he's got no resale value. I know, why do I care about resale value? I don't really, but he's got no resale value. So I'm not into it. I'm not into the Isak deal. And I think I can just see it going wrong. And he's not going to be fit for the first few weeks of the season, because he's a little. What is this as well, by the way? I know I'm not finishing any stories here, which is weird, because I thought this was a Storm thing, but it's just a me thing. What is this new trend about players going on strike to get moves? This used to be like a if someone did it, you was like, whoa, this is ridiculous. Why is this player going on strike? Like, it was a big thing to go on strike. Now apparently everyone does. Look at Gyökeres. Look how bad Gyökeres looked against United, because he didn't look fit. He didn't look. I know he's a donkey anyway. He is going to be a bad signing. He didn't want to go there. He wanted to go to United. Arteta didn't want him, but because Arsenal couldn't sign anybody else, and United must have realised he's a donkey, he's ended up there. So, but honestly, if Isak comes in and bags, you'll have JJ in a Sweden kit. No, he's got a Sweden kit, but he's just outgrew it. Yeah, it was 18 to 2 years, and he's just outgrew Sweden kit. The last time he wore it, when we did that, let me try to find it'll take me ages. I always say let me find things and then just think it's going to take me ages. The last time he wore it when we did that, I took him to this thing in the park during one of the summer holidays. Obviously, summer holidays mean nothing to him, but it was during one of the holidays for the kids, so it was a thing that was on. And they were doing a net fishing, catching all like little beasties at the park and then putting them into a thing and seeing what you'd caught, like little fish and that. And the Sweden kit was, his gut was showing, do you know what I mean? So I had to make sure that was the last time he wore his Sweden kit. But he's already got a Sweden kit. And that's before Isak. Isak is not good. We don't want Isak. Look at some of the shit I got here when I paint my house. Can you believe we're going to be, should be, finally, after fucking 2 houses falling through, moving next month. He's fucking shit. 2 goals top 4 Portugal. Exactly. I think Gyökeres is a flat track bully, and that's why he look at his Coventry thing as well. And I know he scored a penalty, but he stumped the gap out in the playoff final. I think he's going to be shit for Arsenal. They threw all their eggs into the wrong basket. They should have probably been going for Sesko, and I don't think I can't imagine one player would have rejected them for United. I know Gyökeres wanted to, but I can't imagine it. But I think he's shit. But in terms of Ekitike, I don't want Isak. Ekitike, I would be all over Eze, who's going to Tottenham, and surely he'd come to Liverpool over Tottenham. Sign him, give them 100 million for Gaethje and Eze, and we've obviously just got this thing yet, and then close up shop. And do you know what's bad, by the way? I had to listen. I don't know if I said this on the last one. Sesko's double shit. What is he? 6'6", 13 goals in the Bundesliga. But I had to listen to people at the start of the thing, including my dad, who is the biggest FSG shill ever, saying, "What are you all talking about? You're saying about FSG now, eh? Look at the money they're spending. We're going to be..." What was that? What happened? This computer's just said something to me as if it was like fucking... Well, it might be, innit? What's it called? Has Max got Siri? Because the computer just said something to me. Look at the money we're spending. Look at the money spending. Look how much we're going to... I reckon we're going to be about 50 million net spend by the end of the transfer window. So what? We should be spending that every summer, minimum. 50 million should be the minimum we spend every single summer. Honestly, these owners, they've gaslit all of our fans into thinking we're having a big summer, and we've just sold Ben Doak for 25 million. Elliot's definitely going for 40 to 45, maybe 50 million. So he's definitely gone. So there's another bit of the fee recouped. Honestly. And I fell for it as well. I was saying to my dad, listen, I've got no arguments, can't say nothing about it, but we've been duped. Lewis says, do you reckon Rio's going to get many mins this year? Don't worry, I didn't ignore that. I just was on a bit of I was tunnel vision. Couldn't tell you, don't care. I didn't even know, honestly, this is not me doing that thing where I say I don't watch football. I didn't even know who this Rio kid was until he scored that goal in pre-season. Never heard of him before, have no idea. He'll probably get minutes in the League Cup, because I feel like I know it's weird because we got to the League Cup final, but it doesn't seem that asked. I hope we're not even. I don't care about the domestic cups anyway. We won the League Cup 2 times out of 2 or 3 times under Klopp. Won the FA Cup once under Klopp. Don't care about the domestic trophies. Only care about the big ones. Go win the Premier League again. Go win the Champions League. Can you believe as well? I made a bet with Tomo on Friday in Hotel Anfield. But if out of nowhere, and this comes back to Tom Graham as well, shout out Tom Graham, you should be bald by now, or have donated 50 quid to charity, and you fucking didn't do either. You're not bald, and you haven't donated. And bear in mind, you said 100 quid. You said I'll donate 100 quid when you were shitting yourself and going bald. If you make a bet, he made a bet, Tom Graham, where none of us prompted it. He said, if we win the league, I'll shave my head. Then he shit out, and I am. Bear in mind the money I've paid out over the years in bets. And Mike's another one. Mike lost a bet to me, a £100 bet to me, and I let him donate it to a charity that was close to my heart for Elise's mum. But if you fucking make a bet, not even a bet that people have prompted, a bet that you have prompted, and then it fucking doesn't go and you lose it, do it. Don't be a little shitbag. And then he come out and said, I'll donate £100 to charity so I don't have to go bald. And he hasn't done either. He donated 25 quid to charity, and that's not enough. And we even all said, right, I'll tell you what, we'll accept 50, and he's not done that either. But some reason, and I'm saying it on here, so it's out there, and I've shook hands with him, and I shook hands with Ryan as well. If we win back-to-back league titles, I'll get Slot's name tattooed somewhere. And bear in mind, I don't have a tattoo. Don't even agree with tattoos. I'm up there. What Mayweather says about tattoos, I agree with, and I will get Slot's name tattooed. And I've said it, and I've shook, so I will. But what was I saying then? What was I even saying then? This was well more important than that. Oh, but was it about Rio? Nah, it wasn't about Rio. What was I talking about then? I don't know. What was I just saying then before I went onto the tattoo? Slot, by the way, though, the things I was saying at 2-0 to my mates in Hotel Anfield, What does Mayweather say about tattoos? He says you shouldn't change what God gave you, and I don't believe in God. God didn't make us with tattoos, so are we meant to have tattoos? No. Caveman have tattoos? I don't. Do you know that's one of the worst shouts ever? And I will sometimes use it in arguments. Cavemen never had this. Cavemen all the fucking life expectancy of cavemen was about 37 years old. Do you know what I mean? But it is something I always say. But what was it? I can't remember what I was saying. I'm trying to kill time here while I put back in my head, but I can't really remember what I was saying. Do you know what's another thing as well that I'll say? Last thing I'll say about Friday's game, I was saying a lot of shit. This does time what I was just saying. I would say I was giving Slot hell. I said to fucking my mate Docker in Hotel Anfield when it went to 2-2, is this going to work? Yeah, it will do. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Docker. I said, no, we can't read. I said, who scored there? I said, if this finishes 2-2, he's got to go. Because obviously, but then subs were bad. Come on, we've done a decade of bad subs under Klopp, and that's the only negative I'll let people say about Klopp. One, that he was a little bit too loyal to his players, but how it all happened at Dortmund with his players, that's how you can see he was burnt. He's got PTSD, so that's why he's a little bit too. He was little bit too loyal to the Champions League winning team, but he lost 2 Champions League finals before. Was it 3 Champions League finals he lost? So you can imagine the team that get him over the line. He is going to be naturally too loyal to him, and it did fault us. Giving Henderson that deal was terrible. 2 extra years of Firmino, and he weren't really that good, was a bit terrible. An extra year for Fabinho was terrible. There was a lot of things where loyalty got in the way of logic with Klopp, but you can't criticise someone for being too loyal. But his subs were if he couldn't swap a midfielder for a midfielder, or bring Joe Gomez on for Trent, or bring on Tsimikas for Robertson, he didn't know what to do, did he? He just didn't have a clue, and he couldn't really change games with his subs. But them subs against fucking Bournemouth was as bad as anything we watched in a decade with Klopp. They were terrible, and I don't care what anyone says. They were, that's what Carragher said. That's why I'm a pundit and he's a manager. No, he got bailed out by Chiesa. That wasn't him being smart. He got bailed out by just like an unbelievable fucking unbelievable goal and unbelievable finish, which I did say that is just, I know someone said he corrected himself. That was an unbelievable finish. It's a full volley through 4 people. But I will say about the 2-2, now it doesn't matter, and now we won 3-2. I'm buzzing. I'm glad that Bournemouth got that 2-2 moment, because that flag was nice. When you get people like Palace booing, and people saying, oh, they booed that because you booed the national anthem. Not the same thing. Not even remotely the same thing. This is a guy, this is a kid. To a lot of the men in that stands booing him, Jota is a kid. Even to me, I'm 33. What was Jota? 29, 27? Not kid to me, but do you know what I mean? He's a young lad living his dream, living all of our dreams, who died in one of the most horrific ways, and you're booing his fucking minute of silence. What? Because people booed the national anthem? Because fucking Liverpool fans and Liverpool as a club and Liverpool as a city have been let down by this country countless times. So we don't want to fucking sing God Save the Queen. Fuck the Queen, the King, sorry. Fuck him. Why would we sing God Save the King? I wouldn't say God sing anybody. Make the national anthem something that's actually a little bit patriotic, and maybe people wouldn't boo it. God save the fucking king. What's a king ever done for anybody? What's the royal family ever done for anybody? It's not the same thing. It's embarrassing. And bear in mind, I was buzzing when Forest got the fucking European slot now after that, but Forest are scabs and they fucking crossed the picket line, so it was an hard one. That's how I can imagine Gary Neville feels when it's Liverpool or City for the league title. But I was glad Bournemouth got that 2-2 moment, because their end looked like it went off. It looked like it went off in their end, and I'm glad they got that moment. And I'm glad Semenyo got that as well. I didn't realise Semenyo was English, because he plays for Ghana and he's obviously black and called Semenyo, and that's maybe against me, that thinking that he wasn't English. But do you know what, though? As a black person who has been racially abused multiple times, I'm talking maybe well more than 50 times in my life I've been racially abused, a lot of them to my face. I don't think we're that arsed. There are not many black people are that arsed about being racially abused. And let me tell you, Semenyo's not going to be that arsed about being racially abused by a cripple, by a guy in a fucking wheelchair. This is Semenyo, who's just signed a new 5-year deal at Bournemouth, probably on about 100 grand a week, Premier League footballer, just spent 3 weeks off in the summer, yachting it around Europe against a fucking cripple, right? I don't think he's going to be that bothered about being racially abused, but you got racially abused 50 times a day. Yeah, Mike's right, mate. I used to get racially abused every day on Twitter. And it doesn't get to us as much as you'd think it gets to us. I think people get more outraged by racial abuse than black people do. Obviously, it shouldn't happen, but I can't really complain. I'm very racist towards certain people, so that's why I've never. And obviously, you get because of my upbringing, I have a certain views towards certain not races, but certain ways of life that people live. So I've never been that bad against it, even though people go, you can't be ignorant, you shouldn't. People have been brought up in racial households, in households that are racist, like, it's just all they know, and it's not right. It's definitely not right, but it's all they know. Same with me with some things, but Semenya went and scored 2 goals. Bournemouth fans who did a really nice gesture with the banner, got a nice second. That would have gone, they would have loved every second of that, and we won. So there's no losers. There is no losers in that one. What else did I? Because when I'm not stoned, I spend 10 minutes before a live chat thinking of things. I need a piss, you know. You know what it is with me? Because I've been fasting. And I guess what? What is it now? 21 pounds I've lost in 5 weeks. I've got 3 weeks left to get down to. I'm definitely 15 stone 1. I need to get to 14 stone 10 to win all my bets. I think Matty Harrison's money is 40 quid is safe, but I need a piss. I'm going to have to go for a piss. I'll talk to you from the back door, but I need a piss. I know this is every live chat, but you understood the, what's it called, hereditary bladder in my family. This is not normal. And here's fucking JJ's thing from his bedroom, drying outside because Pedro decided to piss in it all today. Oh. You know what I mean? Nice and fresh. This has been hanging outside all day since I washed it yesterday because fucking Pedro decided to piss on it 1,000,000 times. Shut the door. Pedro jumped up. Pedro has shit on the floor here behind me. Ain't you? He's fucking shit on the floor behind me. The back door's not been open, but how long have I been on? 35 minutes. Not good enough. Look at him. He knows what he's doing because his head's fucking on the floor. He's fucking shit on the floor. Pedro. Move. Fucking little dirty cunt. Fucking shit on the floor. Sorry, I'm going to have to wash this. I can't leave shit behind me. Jamie laughing. It's not funny. Why are you shit on the floor? Behind me as well. I've not even smelt it. Fuck's sake, Pedro. 1 second. I just have to go outside in. Fuck's sake. Do you know what? For the first fucking 2 weeks of him living here, I kept saying, I can't believe this puppy. He doesn't shit. He doesn't piss inside nothing. Because he must have been fucking nervous. Maybe he's got his feet under the fucking table. Don't look at me like that. Shitting in my house. Fucking shit on the floor behind me. And bear in mind, that back door was open until like a minute before I started this. I've just gone and washed my hands with everything, don't worry. Dirty bastard. That's what I was going to say. I remember that. I was walking the finger. Are we, as Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans and the media and everything, are we writing off City too early? Because they spent, what, 200 million in January? They've probably spent 100 and something, maybe more this summer. Are we, and they win the league every year and then they have 1 year off and then win it again 3 years in a row. Are we, the only thing is I think Pep's going to get himself sacked. I know they've only beat Wolves, and Wolves might be one of the teams that get dragged into it. For the first time, obviously, it's been 2 years in a row where all the teams that get promoted have been relegated. Surely the cycle has to be brought, but I would put any money on that being Brentford, going out and getting a cheap option of Keith Andrews. But who's going to stay up as well? Because I thought it would be Burnley, because Burnley conceded about 9 goals in the Championship, but they look terrible against Finger. Did you see my bet as well? Look at this. This is a new thing. Oh, has ChatGPT done it for me? I've been asking them all day, but they're fucking that shit. Where's my stuff? Hang on. Where's my design? How are you this bad? Fucking terrible. Oh my God. I asked them to do me a 3-second transition design And all he's given me is this. I'm going to save it. Hang on. Save. Right. Watch this. Airdrop. Joshua's MacBook. So I want a thing. Look at how close I was with my finger, by the way. And Charlie said, why would you fucking do this? Why would you put Burnley to draw with Tottenham? And that was, it was all that was letting me down, but it wasn't all that let me down in the end, because Fingy let me down in the end. United. I would have cashed out by then anyway. Look at this for a decent bet. Look. Liverpool. I put Liverpool to win, Villa Newcastle to draw, Brighton Fulham to draw, Sunderland to win, City to win, Forest to win, but then I put Tottenham and Burnley to fucking draw. And then I put United to win, but United was the last game and I would have cashed it out. 2,524.76 to win. You ain't going on about this again. Fuck you, Charlie. Yeah, I am. I bet that. Can't believe it. But I think Sunderland might stay up. Do you know what I like about Sunderland? And I said this before Gary Neville's been saying it all about. But me and Gary Neville do share a lot of things. You know what Gary Neville said as well? That I agree with. And I've been meaning to say this on about 3 live chats. This Oasis thing, Gary Neville said they were solid. Because Gary Neville is not a guy who gets carried away by hype, right? I have seen Liam Gallagher live. He cannot sing. He is abysmal. And everyone's going, he's a showman. He might be a showman, but he doesn't move. He stands there with the mic singing badly. So there's no way it's impossible. And I'll get into it that it might be, thank you, Jamie. I'll get into it that they might be the best gig you've ever been to because of this factor that I'll add to you. But it is impossible for Oasis to have been the best people you've ever seen live because the main fucking singer, the front man, the lead man, cannot sing. He cannot sing. I've watched him live. I watched his full set live at Z-Gets as Liam Gallagher, and he can't sing. He literally can't sing, right? So Oasis cannot have been the best band ever live because he can't sing, right? But what I will say is it might have been the best gig you've ever been to because, as he said with Oasis, and I don't know why it is with this band because I think they're dog shit, but every single person in every single show for Oasis knows every song. So where you go and watch Kaiser Chiefs, Kasabian, Arctic Monkeys, these other bands, where there's probably 7 or 8 songs in their set list that people don't quite know the lyrics to, so it's a bit subdued for a few, and you get the diehards that sing it, the first 6 rows at the front of standing that all sing it, but then everyone else is a bit like, oh, I don't really know this song. Every single song that Oasis sings, every single person in that audience, because they've waited years to watch them and they love them and they've been beloved for years, knows every lyric. So yeah, it might have been the best gig you've been to, but I will not listen to a single other person tell me that Oasis are the best. It's the best performance I've ever seen because fucking Liam Gallagher cannot sing. So don't lie to me. I know Gary Neville said the same thing. They were solid 7 out of 10. Them as a band was 7 out of 10. Oh yeah, 100% been carried away. Yeah, they 100%. Yeah. People are getting carried away by the crowd. That's fine. No, he said they were just solid. Gary Neville said they were just solid. It's other people saying they're the best ever, and I agree. And listen, it might have been, and that's fair enough because, like I said, if you've got 90,000 people all singing every word to every song, it will be amazing. It will be amazing. We've all been to places. When I watched Eminem at Wembley, everybody knew all the lyrics to all the songs he was singing, and it was unbelievable. That's another one. I went there with Aaron Hilliard, who I owed an apology for the Berbatov thing. He's not replied to that, by the way. Absolutely unreal. I was starting to know the barrel drive. Yeah, that would have been a shocking drive on a Friday night. Sorry, just replying to people while I'm doing a fucking live stream. That's another one as well. Fucking Man United. Would you rather go see Craig David if there was? I wouldn't pay £5. And I've said this. I said this on the last live chat. I've loved it. The fact that it's been Coldplay and Oasis as the 2 premier tickets that everyone's trying to get, and I could not be asked about watching either one. I don't know actually because Craig David now's not the Craig David I watched Craig David, as I've told people on here. It was before he did the first song with Big Nasty. Before he turned into the David Get a B-side guy. I went watching Craig David at the Ritz with Christian Wakely. Our tickets was about 15 quid. There was about 600 people there, and everyone got off when he started doing the TS5 thing. And it was unbelievable for me, for for a like Born to Do It fan, but maybe not. I'd rather watch him than create Oasis because I like 2 Oasis songs. I think Oasis are dog shit. I don't like. But then again, like I said this, so Whitney, my mate, a black girl who went watching Oasis, I said, how many black people did you see in the crowd? And she went, now you say that. And I never thought about it at the time, but now you say that, I don't think I've seen another black person. Black people don't like bands. We don't like bands. They're not for us. Message Airbnb. We don't like bands. We don't like instruments and that. We like rap, we like dance, we like soul, but we're not, there's no black clarineters and that. We're not into it. So I would definitely rather watch Craig David, but I don't know about watching Craig David now because obviously half his set's going to be these dog shit clubland throwaway dance songs he does. But yeah, other than Oasis, yeah, because I literally like Wonderwall, and even then that started great, and then because of how many people have done it over karaoke over the years, and how many times I've heard it. And is it Live You and I? Live Forever. That's it. It's the only 2 Oasis songs I like. So probably would rather watch him. But United, that's what I was going on. How did I sit and watch a Jim Radcliffe? Someone called him the Jim Reaper the other day. I heard it on the radio, Jim Reaper. How did I sit and watch Jim Radcliffe do an interview with Gary Neville in which he said they were like 2 months away from going bust, and then they've just managed to spend they're going to spend 150 million this summer, as they do every summer. Did you see that list as well that Sky put on after the Arsenal game where they've spent 3/4 of £1 billion on forwards in the last however many years, and the top goal scorer of all them is Martial. And bear in mind, the reason why Martial's the top goal scorer out of all them is because they signed him years ago, and remember he was a teenager, and the fee was, and then they say the whole song they sing is about how much overpaid they think. What was it? 50 million down the drain. They paid 50 million for a child, so he was there for years. So he's going to be the leading goal scorer, and he was dog shit as well. They have ironed out some serious money, them, haven't they, over the years under the fucking Glaziers. And they've somehow after being, what did he say? If we don't do something by November, we will run out of money. They've stopped letting staff have butties on the dinner at the training ground, which I'm not like. It's not something maybe United were overcompensating the staff by giving them all that. Maybe most clubs don't give all the staff butties at dinner, but they took away butties and still have now spent over 200 million, and will probably spend another 50 million. The biggest blag sometimes is that these teams blag that we're spending all this money, and when it comes at the end of the window, and you look at the net spend, and everyone goes, net spend Liverpool, net spend is all that matters, obviously. Because if it's not net spend, then you've not spent anything. 100 million to a 20 million net spend. 100 million, by the way, Jack Grealish. Why is this going on? Do you think Liverpool could spend 100 million on a player then loan into Everton, or loan into Villa, or loan into someone? Why is it going completely unnoticed how much of flop and how much money Pep Guardiola spent? I've just got 2 notifications on my watch. One that my heart rate has gone high, and one that the noise is too loud. Am I shouting that much? But United spending, like I said, another 250 million in this summer window, but we're supposed to believe that they're absolutely skint out their head. It just doesn't make sense. I think that's it. What other topics did I have? What other topics have we got to speak about? Newcastle on thingy, that'll be good. Newcastle on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. This is the last season of my ban. At the end, we've got a new training ground on top too. Who's got a new training ground on top? Have United ain't got a new training ground? United's training ground's fucking falling apart, isn't it? What do you mean, Liverpool? Do not discotheque, do not start talking about Liverpool's training ground in terms of money the owners have spent, because I've said this, countless times I've said this. If you owned a welding firm, yeah, and you decided, we're doing that well, I'm going to throw another van on the road, I'm going to hire 2 new people and get another van out, you are doing that to benefit you. They bought Liverpool, FSG bought Liverpool for £300 million, right? And everything they do, upgrading the training ground, upgrading the stadium, adds on to the value. Yes, that's what we need to talk about. UFC 319, fuck the FSG here. Well, I don't even, this used to just be about UFC. Hamzat Chimaev, yeah, I was right about him all along. When he was going to fight Leon Edwards, and I said Leon Edwards is going to kick his head off. Have they? Have United done the whole training ground up? They had to, didn't they? Remember Ronaldo came out and said the fucking turned up at the training ground was the exact same it was under Fergie. Anyway, UFC 319, Chimaev, sell out. Can you? And I understand what people are saying. Someone said he fought like a person who'd only fought 2 times in the last 3 years, never fought 5 rounds, and had cardio issues in his last 2 3-round fights. So that's fair enough. But if you can control someone for 22 minutes, and bear in mind, Dricus du Plessis had nothing for him. Didn't even know, he couldn't even stop, couldn't stuff a single. Until this 4th round started, when obviously Hamzat got tired, he got 10 out of 10 takedowns, 22 minutes and 30 seconds of control in a 25-minute fight, and he didn't get credited. I know he did definitely try at least 1 or 2. Didn't get credited with a single submission attempt. Not good enough. And I don't care. People are going, people like fucking DJ, and obviously DJ knows more. What do I know about MMA compared to DJ? But do not tell me, oh, if you don't like grappling, then go and watch boxing. How about if someone dominates someone on the floor for 22 minutes, try and submit them, try some ground and pound, not just. My dad asking how I'm feeling after yesterday. Do you want to actually show? Do you want to show you how bad it was yesterday? I got some videos for people because I didn't want people to think that I was just flaking on the live chat, because obviously I'm known for that. Look at this. You ready? Before the fight. Oh, it's terrible. Before the fight. Bad. This video in the bad. Been sick for fucking ages. Been sick, shitting everywhere, right? I told you at the start. But Chimaev, that is not good enough. You cannot be, I don't know nobody wanted to see that. You can't have 22 minutes of control and not go for 1 submission attempt, or 1 recognised submission attempt where Fightology only has you down as none. Fuck off, UV. I need to get rid of that, really. That won't be there all the time, the fuck off, UV. I just was trying to prove a point that do not listen to Tony Evans and enjoy singing the song, because we don't sing Chelsea Rent Boys anymore. And being bullied at singing Chelsea Rent Boys is a joke, because that was never about Chelsea fans being gay or queer or nothing like that. It was about the fact that Roman Abramovich came in and people that would never have thought about that. Bear in mind, that was the first time, like, not the first time with Blackburn had it, but that was like a local business time. It was the first time where people who would never have signed for Chelsea otherwise went to Chelsea for money. They're in a rent boy. It was nothing to do with gays, nothing to do with queers, nothing like that. It was to do with Chelsea players going to Chelsea for money, making you a rent boy. So why have we been bullied into? Because it does not get sung anymore. It doesn't get sung in Liverpool at Anfield. Doesn't get sung Chelsea. You think at Chelsea away, when it's usually a bit more about it fans, that it would get sung, and it does not get sung. Oh, I know. I thought someone else. So let's not get bullied into not singing the Chiesa song. Don't let them take that away from us, because it's a fucking sick song. A very good song. You know another thing I was watching? I'm going to wrap this up in a minute because we're on 50 minutes. I was watching an interview. Really good, you know. Darren Barker's a terrible interviewer, but what was good is Liam Smith felt at ease with Darren Barker. How have we just gone for... I will go back to UFC. It was an interview with Darren Barker and Liam Smith. And I'm just going to put this out here quickly because it's something that I feel like should be said. Whilst they was all going, yes, Mike. Well, they was having their run as the Smith brothers. And I don't know, Callum's still about a little bit. One thing we never realised is, Paul Smith won a British title and fought for a world title, and Stephen Smith won a British title. And we didn't realise that while they're breaking these records as brothers winning titles. So Liam Smith said people was asking him why he didn't win the European title. But all 3 of them before him had fought for a world title, and he hadn't. I think that was what he said, or the 2 before, whatever it was. Well, we're thinking, this is amazing. The Smith brothers are all fighting have all won British titles and have all fought for world titles. We didn't realise the pressure that put on Liam Smith. Imagine that. Imagine being the only Smith brother that never won a world title. After watching that interview, and I've always respected the Smith brothers because they're not champion. And bear in mind, Paul Smith, me and Paul Smith have never got on. Although I do think me and Paul Smith would get on now. And I feel like I used to laugh at his weight all the time. But this is about, and I never realised this with Paddy as well and stuff. A lot of these people are just potheads. And that's why I go so far. Paul Smith is just a pothead who likes fucking, probably just has munchies all the time. But I feel like me and Paul Smith would get on now. But I want to say this because that family has 4 British champions. And what was it? It was the first. He said that in the interview about when Luke Campbell fought. Let me just finish this and we'll go back to that. Because I'm the same, I'm the exact same. But they do come in waves. It'll be back to strikers again. Because it was, think about when Izzy was champion and we had Izzy, you had who was the finger champion at the time? Izzy, and who was at Izzy's one. Who was at 170 at the time? I know it was Usman, wasn't it? So it's a bit different. I don't know. Anyway, quick one on Smith Brothers. We didn't realise that while they were doing these accomplishments, it was actually putting pressure on all the other ones. And they have 4 guys from the same family, not just cousins and that, 4 brothers that have all fought for world titles. 2 of them have won world titles. They've won British titles, European titles, and all that. And I just think watching that interview made me like them more. But yeah, back to 319. I'm sick. I'm the same. Look, it's killing the UFC. It is. But then again, I love Merab. But I think Merab's different because he adds a bit of showman to it. But that no one could tell me that the Hamzat fight was entertaining. I'm not having it. It wasn't entertaining. He's just put him on the floor for 25 minutes. And it's not entertaining. Look at Isak's statement on Insta. Good, Tom. Someone's just told me to look at the Isak statement on Insta. At least he's my biggest fucking fan, you know. Let's have a look. Isak. Ooh. I'm proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Season for 24-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I am not at the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, I didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. The silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what is really said and agreed. I've heard this. The reality is that the promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To know out that these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship cannot continue. That's the only thing. I'm not reading the rest of it. There's only another paragraph. I'll tell you what, I will read the rest of it, which is one more paragraph. That the relationship can't continue. That's where things for me are not are right now, and that's why change is best for everybody, for best interest of everyone, not just myself, Alexander Isak. I never knew about this, and I will say, if this is the truth, because Carragher said it and a few other people said it, he was apparently promised by Amanda Staveley, when the season finishes, you'll get your wages doubled, which will reflect being one of the best strikers in the league. He's signed off on that as yet. I don't need to do it right now. I'll finish the season on these wages, which they're not low, by the way. They're about 125 grand a week. But he got promised, we will give you a new, bear in mind they are Saudi backed, so it's not like it's out of the question for this. This is the last topic I'm going to talk about. No, I'm going to go back to a couple of things on the thingy about Leroy Murphy and that, and Pico. He was promised double your wages in the summer from what I've read and heard. And then Amanda Staveley goes, the new regime come in and say, PSR, can we really afford to double his wages? Well, it doesn't matter if you can't afford it. You promised him it and you've got Saudi backing, so give him it. And now they're saying, no, we're not going to give it. You've got 3 years left on this deal. They know that they can ride out another year and he can, yes, Elise, because we're talking about this. They can ride out another year of how it is and sell him next summer, and we don't have to give him an extra £5 million a year. But if that was you and you've been promised an extra $5 million, these players are on good money, but don't think their lifestyles don't reflect that. They will spend a lot of their money as well. So I would be fuming too, but I don't like this full thing about players going on strike. But yeah, back to 319. We're going to finish on this, UFC 319. The main event's terrible. Duplessis can't wrestle. Had no threat for him. Hamzat did but then again, the only time you make serious money is being by the championship. And he's never had a boring fight before. Let's say that. Never. Holland went out and destroyed him. Whitaker went out and destroyed him. Gilbert Burns and Usman never destroyed him, but they were entertaining fights. They weren't boring. It's just this kid's on, take it easy, fella. Yes, my brother. See you later, Mike. I'll be off in a minute anyway. See you later, brother. But so let's see how his next fight. I'm gonna reserve judgment because, like I said, he's never had a boring fight before. He's not been active and he's got known gassing problems. So let's just say maybe he was indifferent about going for it. And he just wanted to win the belt and now he'll progress. And now he's going to get... Because if you win the belt, for the first time, you'll get a couple of million payday for your next fight. That's how the UFC works. And I like that model. It's how it works perfect because it makes a lot of millionaires played it safe. Like, yeah, he did definitely play. He played it safe, but now he's got the title. So let's see how he does next time. Because how the UFC works, title challenger gets paid 500 grand, yeah, flat fee.
And if you win the title, you get paid at least 2 million if you win a title. So what it does is it may, because the belt only stays with people like maximum 3, maybe 4 defenses, it makes a lot of millionaires. So they can push to their teammates into the gym and stuff. Look, you can earn this just by being a title challenger. And then if you win the belt, you're going to be worth 5 million if you can defend it a couple of times. Like it keeps fighter pay low, but also keeps fighters hungry and makes millionaires out of a lot of them. So I appreciate that winning the belt for him was massive because he's been inactive. He's not had a lot of fights. He's probably not earned he's made a lot of money because he's a very famous man outside of the UFC, but he's probably not made that much wages from the UFC. Now he's going to get, unless you're a fucking retard, 3 million is generational wealth, because if you can't turn 3 million into 10 million, you're a fucking retard, right? So now the next fight, he's going to get big money. He will make big money for his next fight. So I'll reserve judgment on how bad it was for the next fight, but let's talk about Pico. I like Aaron Pico. I like Lerone Murphy. I wanted Lerone Murphy to win. He's a Manchester lad. I'll always usually want the black lad to be the white lad, which is terrible to say, but it is. But Pico looked good. People are saying like, "Oh, Pico should drop down 11." Pico looked good, but like Lerone Murphy said in his post-fight finger, you cannot pressure top quality UFC fighters like that. What was Pico thinking? I know he was getting a lot of success to the body, and obviously he's probably thinking if I keep touching him up to the body, he's going to start getting a bit worried about the hands, and then I can take him down, because Murphy had nothing for the takedowns, and he was getting back up, but Pico was probably allowing him to get back up to gas him out a little bit. But what a lovely spinning back fist. With Prates. Jeff Neal looked good. Jeff Neal looked good for the first 4 minutes until Prates found his range a bit, and then 2 great knockouts. Tim Elliott as well. Another one. Asakura looked a bit. A lot of these people who come over from these lower divisions, they look good at what they stand out at, but because the UFC is full of all-round top-level fighters, and I know Tim Elliott's a lot older now, and he's not looked that good in years, they come wanting when it goes out of their realm. So as soon as it went to the ground, Asakura looked like he'd never fought before. And then what was it? Oh, do you know what? We're going bang on an hour now, and it's late, and I've not had JJ. I had obviously got rid of JJ on Friday, and I always have him Sunday to Thursday, well, midweek, and MVP was fun at one. Yeah, I was like that, but they've said they're friends, haven't they? MVP, he's saying MVP, and is it? But they've said the friends in it to take a big bag. I wouldn't mind him fighting Prates, but why is MVP obsessed with going down back to 170? You've won 2 biggish fights at 185. You're going to be in the top 10 now at 185. Stay at 185. Why is he obsessed with one? But what I'll say is, look at that last round. The thing is with MVP at 185, and even that was a case against like Gary and that. Once MVP gets took down, that's it. That's the end of the round. Once he gets taken down, he doesn't know how to get up. He has no second. Hang on. So 5 minutes, so thanks. He has not. He can't. His ground game's pathetic. But if you've got that record at 185, why go back down to 170? And he looks good at 185. He looks bigger. He feels like he's a massive 170er. I don't get it. But listen, we're over the hour mark. It's been an amazing one. Thanks everyone for coming in. I've tried to go every week. I've done 3 in a month now, which is massive for me, because bear in mind, I went after Bobby died and after my granddad died. I ended up going, after my granddad, I ended up going, what was it, 2.5 months, 11 weeks without a stream, and I've done 3 in a month. I'll be back next week. I've got, like I said then, I've got JJ from Wednesday until Wednesday. I've got him for a full week, but then because he goes away with his mum. It's the first time his mum's took him away, by the way. And that's not a bad thing, but it is the first time. I just want that to be out there. I've took him away many times, about 5, 6 times. So I ain't got him for a week, and so I'm going to do loads next week. But I've got him from Wednesday to Wednesday, so I probably won't do one, even though I'm doing one now sober. But I'll be honest, JJ does not have a good bedtime, so he'd be coming on at 10 o'clock, and when he wakes up and I'm not next to him in bed, he kicks off. But yeah, so he goes away on the 27th. So I'm going to try and do 2 that week, 27th to the 3rd. I'm going to try and do 2. And then I obviously go to Vegas, LA on the 9th. And I'm definitely doing a stream in LA on the 10th. So there'll be a stream at the 10th on the 10th, but it might be, will it be the 11th for the 11th? No, the 10th. On the 10th, I'm doing an LA live chat. But thanks everyone for coming. Been a belter. Loved it. Glad I got on. Sorry I couldn't do yesterday, but I was fucking dying. Thanks for coming.